What is going on, guys? It's your boy K-Cross here, back with another video today, and in today's video I'm going to be kind of talking about why I keep going back and forth between the Pelington and the LW3 on Call of Duty Cold War. Jeez. Um, uh, anyway, like, I go back and forth between the two of them quite a bit. I think the Pelington is still not my most deadliest weapon. It's still the LW3 because I went through that like really long phase where I only used the LW3 as opposed to the Pelington. And they're pretty close though. My top three deadliest weapons in this game are the Pelington, the LW3, or not in order, by the way. In order, actually, it is LW3, Pelington, and the Barrett. And that's only because I had to get it gold. I really did not, enjoy using it. I just had to, pretty much had to spam it and had to use it for a lot longer than most guns to get gold. So that's why it's like, my top three most deadly. And I've only really sniped in this game. I'm not really a big fan of red gunning in this game. It's just not, it's not my thing, I guess. I'll eventually adapt to it, but as of right now, I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm not very good at it, to be honest with you, either. So, it is what it is. But like I said, I'm going to go back into the video, which is the Pelington and the LW3. Now, I use the Pelington more at a map like Raid than I would at a map like Nuketown. I don't know why, but there's this little like thing. I don't know if it's a subconscious thing or if it's since it's more close quarters and I just can't, I guess aim nearly as high. But with the Pelington, I feel like whenever I'm at close range, I do less damage, and whenever I'm on Nuketown, I do less damage with the Pelington than I would on a map like Raid. Like right there, if you saw that shot, that was a decent range shot. We had a lot of separation, but if he was like maybe 10 yards closer to me, I feel like I wouldn't be confident in that shot because I feel like I probably would hit marker. And even whenever I have a decent shot that's pretty high up, I just feel like it doesn't do the right amount of damage. Now, that is because simply Nuketown. Like, I just don't like this gun at Nuketown. I mean, it's not terrible, and I can use it. And I feel like ultimately, at the end of the day, the Pelington is a lot more like the MK2 in Modern Warfare. That it has the potential to go like really big, like have crazy clips, and go on multis fast and just snap, snap, snap. Now, especially with like the kill feed time in this game, I feel like if you're gonna want to get like a chain kill or something, you're probably gonna try to use the Pelington over the LW3. However, with the LW3, you have the confidence to use it in the fact that you won't get a hit marker, and it doesn't matter how close somebody is. The only thing is it's slower, and the like other positive though to it is it has a clip, so you can reload it faster. Like you don't have to put each bullet in as a like you would with the Pelington, which is kind of an annoying feature. You think that the faster gun would have the faster reloading animation, or have the possible faster reloading animation, I should say, and you would think the LW3 would be like force-fed one at a time. However, that's exactly not how it is. So I feel like at the end of the day, if you're gonna have like some crazy clips, you're probably gonna have to use the Pelington anyway, just because it's like, unless you're on the edge of your seat and like you're just like like on like a caffeine rush or something, and you're just like paying attention to every single move and every single like thing, you're just like in depth with the game, then you are probably not going to have as much success with the LW3 or with the LW3 as you would with the Pelington, because like the LW3, you can have these big clips and you have all these opportunities. The only thing is you have to be ready for the gunfight any second, because that thing is so slow that it's like you have to have that first shot. You have to have great anticipation, and you have to be like sweating ultimately to use it and to go off with it. It seems like right here in a second, maybe not, never mind. But you will see probably right here, actually, to be honest with you, I think this is whenever I do it, I get a hit marker, and that's a pretty high shot. That was a high shot. I hit him at least in the shoulders or above, right? And it was a hit marker. It's just kind of a weird thing like that. Like the Pelington has these weird ticks that you have to figure out, you know what I mean? Like, you eventually will figure out every gun in a game if you use it long enough. There's no such thing as an inconsistency in a game like this, or in a gun in a game like this. You know what I mean? Like, there is a pattern. It might be a really big pattern, but you'll eventually figure out that pattern of if I shoot here at this about this distance, I'm gonna get hit marker, or this, that, and the other. And the Pelington is like really weird about close range, right? Like, you just notice that you get way more hit markers at a close range than you would at a far range, and that's what I don't like about it. Like, I just can't stand the fact that it gets hit markers at a close range whenever it's sniper rifle. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like it makes like literally no sense to me, and that's why I have to use the LW3 on Nuketown as opposed to the Pelington. Now, if it was raid, I would probably prefer the Pelington because the Pelington is quicker and I feel more comfortable at ranges with it. I feel like it does better at a range than the LW3 is. I don't feel like I hit marker that often with it at raid, to be honest with you. I feel like I only hit marker with it pretty much at Nuketown. I feel like that's the only place that the Pelington doesn't feel good to me. That or in close quarters on any other map, I guess, technically too, but I avoid those spots subconsciously just because I know that they will, bring me trouble with Pelington as opposed to LW3. I feel much more comfortable with the gun. The only thing is, it's almost nauseating how your guy aims in the sight with it. Like, that does bother me. And the iron sights are uglier on it. That's, like, two main things. The only thing is, it's just a comfortability standpoint. From a comfortability standpoint, I don't feel as comfortable with the LW3 as I do with the Pelington. However, at the same time, I feel like the LW3 gives me more opportunity on a map like this, or I feel like I'm more versatile with the LW3, and I don't feel like, the LW3 is the AX50 where it almost feels like, you have to be super slow and campy in order to get clips with it. Like, I feel like you can push with the LW3. It's a lot quicker than the AX50 was, in my opinion, and that's what makes it good. I do like that about the Pelington, or not the Pelington, but the LW3. I do like the gun overall. I just feel like, with the Pelington being so quick, it does feel like you can do more with the Pelington in a short amount of time, you know what I mean? It just feels like the clip potential with the Pelington is so much more, especially with how slow the kill feeds are in this game, or with how fast the kill feeds are in this game, my bad, and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's just like it's just a thing of, like, the Pelington doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's respected, right? It doesn't feel like good enough, honestly. Like, my thing is, you could take away the auto aim and everything, and I would probably prefer to use the Pelington over the LW3 if they just buffed it a little bit, just a little bit. And they fixed this thing where I'm talking about with a close range, because I feel like it's either an inconsistency problem or they have it geared to do that. Like, they have the gun specifically made to do less damage at a closer range, which I don't know, technically. I guess it could be realistic. I'm not a ballistics expert, but basically, I feel like the gun is not nearly as good as it should be at a close range, and that's kind of an annoying, like, part of the game. I feel like, like, just make it normal. Like, make it normal. Don't mess with the close range aspect of a sniper rifle. That's just weird. And then the fact that, they have all these statistics and stuff like that in this game that they were introducing, the first game with all these, stats where you could see your guns, nanoseconds of aiming down the sight, and your reload time, your sprint to fire time, all that stuff. But they won't, add in something like, your damage at a close range as opposed to your damage fall off and stuff like that. Like, it just seems stupid, you know what I mean? Like, I want to know if that's the case, like if it's coded to do less damage at a close range consistently, or if it's just an inconsistent thing where it's like, 1 out of 5 shots at this, like, 10 meters or lower are going to be a hit marker, you know what I mean? And I don't know, that's just kind of what I want to know. I want to know if it's like a consistent thing, and I'm just, hitting inconsistent shots, or if it's inconsistent gun and I'm just hitting consistent shots, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I want to know, because it is something that doesn't seem like it's a problem everywhere. It is something that doesn't seem like it's a problem 24/7, but it's definitely a problem. Like, it's definitely something that happens quite often, honestly, and it's annoying. Like, if you play Nuketown with the Pelington, at least once a game, you're going to get that hit marker that's just not right, you know what I mean? It's just almost infuriating because the Pelington feels so good, but at the same time, it's like, I kind of see, through it. I'm like, with the MK2, I just was like, you know what, I'll just start doing headshots only. Like, I'll just start specifically targeting headshots, and it made me better at the game, and I also got better with the gun, you know what I mean? Like, the gun was deadly if you could get headshots, but at the same time, if you look at, the Pelington, it's like, I'm pretty sure half the time I'm shooting people in the head and they're not dying, so, where is the, line at, you know what I mean? It's just a weird, like, gun. I would just like to know what's going on with it, honestly. But, like, if I had to choose at Nuketown, I would definitely take the LW3 any day of the week. And honestly, I'll take the LW3 most of the time. I just feel like if I'm playing with people that are actually really good and they're, pushing and stuff like that, I have to use the Pelington in order to compete with them because the LW3 is so slow. And that is obviously very annoying, but at the same time, I'm fine with that because, I feel like most of the time the Pelington doesn't let me down. It seems like just whenever it's the most infuriating it does. But basically, if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably take the LW3 like 9 times out of 10 anyway, but the Pelington I wish worked better. Ultimately, that's what I just want to say. It's like I wish the Pelington was better, but the LW3 gets the job done, I guess. You know what I mean? It's just I don't feel like the gun's just kind of, like the way your guy aims in the sights, the reticle, stuff like that. I just kind of wish those things were better about it. But like those are small things that I can obviously get over. But anyway, that's my opinion on it. Let me know if you guys have anything differing opinions, and that's all I gotta say for today. Peace out.